Alright YouTube, here it is. My volume controls work. You can see my USB. This is my volume knob, so I'm able to keep my factory amplifier. Play some music real quick. So factory amplifier. The climate control is shown up there. The only thing that I messed up, I did not think of or account for, was this. This part is different. So you can see there's a nice little gap there. So we're just going to order the right part for the customer and take care of that. But steering wheel controls work. Previous, next mode, etc. My backup camera works. I showed that to you. What's up YouTube? Welcome back to the Acura Audio Garage. Today we're working on a 2012 Acura TL. We're going to be upgrading the radio. So we have, this isn't a base, this is a tech package. So we have navigation. We have the ELS system. I can't show you the amp, but the amp would be back here behind the trunk. And we're going to be swapping the radio. We're going to be putting in this Pioneer right here. So a lot of people think this is impossible. A lot of people think that you're going to lose a lot of stuff. We'll walk you through our goal plan. So obviously you're going to swap the radio. This little piece right here is finally being released from us. This is going to allow us to keep all the factory speakers working with the factory amplifiers, the factory amplifier interface. Then we have steering wheel control interface. We get to keep our steering wheel controls. Going to get, you know, AM, FM, power, all that stuff, our dash kit. This is the big one. So the big thing with this, you lose, you can run amps, right? So like if you lose the factory amplifiers, whatever, you lose the climate control display. So someone else figured out, we didn't figure this out, someone else figured out, I'll link their video, that you could send the information that shows up on this little screen to this screen, and you just have to swap the screens. Then we're going to retain the factory backup camera and send that to our aftermarket radio. So I'm going to show you all that. I'm not going to cover this assembly too much because this isn't a DIY video. I am going to go over the wiring. I'm going to show you that it's possible. These come off. You just unclip them. You do have to disconnect the push the start button, and then you have to work on this. This, I find it's easier. This tool comes with our trim tool kit if you want it. You slide it in, and then that allows you to get the next tool in, and then you can begin prying up and towards you, and that's how you can get this thing out of here. It's hard to do it with one hand, but I found that that's the easiest. Then to unclip these, you have 3 clips, one on each side and one in the middle. That was the hardest one to get off, was the middle one. So with this tool, you're going to begin pulling, and you're going to pull towards you. That'll release this middle clip. Once the middle clip is out, the other ones are pretty simple. And then you have a push tab right here. Push, pull out. We're also going to take our screen out, remember, because we're going to be swapping it. But now I should have 4 screws that get to my radio. Where are the other 2? Right here, right there, and right there. So 8mm here, 8mm here. Up here in this crevice, you can use a Phillips or an 8mm. I recommend an 8mm. Now I should just be able to drop this out. Yep, it's coming right out. And then I got to disconnect all my connectors back here. Alright guys, so we have a lot of connectors here. This one right there. Then you have the green one here. Then you have all these back here. All of them are disconnected. If you have a base and you're watching this video, we have the harnesses for your base. We have the harnesses for both actually, so it's up to you. Just there are a lot of connectors back there you're not going to use, so I'm going to work out what we're going to end up using, what we're not, what we're going to transfer, and then I'll show it to you once I have everything set up. So here's the nav display, the nav connector on this TL. It's a 36 pin, I believe. And if you were thinking that screen wouldn't fit, it does fit. It bolts down with those 2 screws. So now we got to get started on our wiring, which is going to be our most complicated part. So I'm going to get our wiring all together and then skip ahead once I have something to show you. So now we have to take this screw, this screw, this screw, this screw, this screw, and that screw out, and transfer these to our new dash kit. Radio mounted in our dash kit. You can see it looks pretty good. All our buttons are nice and flush, so you can press them but nothing happens. They don't jam or anything. Here are how we mounted these screws, mounted those screws. Those are going to mount, and then these top ones are the ones to mount in the car. So I'm gonna leave this off to the side. We can get started on the wiring. Alright guys, so our first harness is complete. That's from this plug right here. That's that to the control knob for navigation, up to here, behind there, and you can see we have our temps. Now we need to make the plug for this. All right, YouTube, so if you want to go from this to this, here are all the harnesses you're going to need. You're going to need the harness to convert the navigation display to the non-nav display, which is this harness right here. You're going to need the harness to keep your factory backup camera, which is this harness right here. And then you're going to need the ELS amp retention, which helps you keep the factory amplifier. This also comes with a knob so you can turn the volume up and down. And then your traditional harnesses for installing a radio. So power, steering wheel controls, everything, your antenna, and then the plug for the ELS amp integration. So that's everything. I'm going to actually finally install everything in the car now that I got it all figured out. I'm just going to tape up the harnesses, make them look a little better, and then I got to just install my volume. All right, YouTube, here it is. My volume controls work. You can see my USB. This is my volume knob, so I'm able to keep my factory amplifier. Play some music real quick. So factory amplifier. So now my climate control is shown up there. The only thing that I messed up, I did not think of or account for, was this. This part is different. So you can see there's a nice little gap there. So we're just going to order the right part for the customer and take care of that. But steering wheel controls work. Previous, next mode, etc. My backup camera works. I showed that to you. And then what else? I kept all the speakers in the car, including the subwoofer. The backup camera's directed to here. You just saw that. I'm gonna get the customer out of here. It's been a long day. This was a long install, first time doing this, so I need to kind of make the harnesses as I went. So I'm gonna get them out of here, and then I'll show you guys the rest of kind of what needed to get done in order for this to happen. What's up, YouTube? So I'm at home. It's Sunday. I'm sure you're gonna have a lot of questions regarding what you saw in the video. So the first things first is the dash kit's made by Metro. I showed you the part number. You can buy that anywhere. If you have a base, we have the harnesses. I'll put a little overlay video showing you where to pick them up on our website. If you have a base, it's 3 harnesses. It's a real easy install. You get to keep all your speakers except the center channel. Your steering wheel controls will work. The climate controls still work. And you can add a back camera if you want. So the base, it's simple. We have it covered. Before you couldn't get your rear speakers to work. We figured that out a while ago. You can get the harnesses. If you have the tech package, like the one in the video, that's where it gets a little more tricky. You're gonna need the ELS amp interface. We sell it, it's available. You're then gonna wanna pick up a non-navigation display off eBay or a Junkyard. You're gonna wanna buy that harness from us that converts from nav to non-nav so you can see the climate control. You also want to pick up the camera retention harness if you wanna keep the factory backup camera. And then the ELS integration, I already told you about that. Then you have your standard connector for that radio to give it power and stuff, and then you have the antenna. So all that stuff is going to be on our website. If you're looking for the complete kit for the Acura TL, I'll have it linked in this video, either in the description or down in the comments, so check that out. I know you probably have questions regarding wiring and diagrams, and if you email us, I can get those over to you, but I'm gonna tell you it's very complicated. It's not easy to figure out. It took us a while. It took me, I think yesterday the customer got there at 10:30. He didn't leave till 7. That's how long it took to figure everything out. In theory, we had it all worked out, but you have to make the harnesses on the fly. You don't always have all the connectors, all the pieces, so you have to improvise. I didn't want to do any wire tapping or wire cutting on the customer's car. So in the end, we were able to get it all together. But just know, if you're trying to do this at home, I recommend just picking up the harnesses, because if you try to figure it off the diagrams, there's no real clear explanation. You kind of just have to trial and error until it works. If you're looking for the stuff, some of the harnesses are already listed on our website. Some of the other harnesses are coming real soon, and the ELS amplifier integration is available now.